Welcome to the Standing O Podcast,
a Steve and Adam comedy project.
We know a little about most things and a lot about nothing.
I like
But
that.
either way, we got those at Total Wine because we got to go yesterday.
Oh,
Play with that.
are we going to talk about that?
Yeah, I figured that's where we should start off. But we mainly just wanted them because they were $5. They're 13% alcohol.
Oh,
We don't know what
Jean
they
Roux.
taste like. Yeah. That's what to say after he takes a drink. Woo, Jean Roux.
Jean Roux.
Before we talk about Total Wine or anything, I was listening to the podcast and there was something I forgot to bring up in time. You told the story about being signed up for a half marathon.
Uh-huh.
And so and he has a running app with his girlfriend at the time who's at another school, and so she can see that he's not running. He's not training for it.
So imagine the text I was getting when
She's
she's
like- and he's like,
waking
"Ah,
up at 6 a.m., running, going to class, and I'm like
And he's
sleeping
always
until
he's always
11.
just like, sorry, it's been a crazy day and stuff like. And then it occurred to me, a lot of times when you can't do Standing O stuff, your texts sound a lot like that.
Wow.
I actually thought you were going to say something like that
Like,
when I brought that
you might
up.
have showed your hand a little bit.
Just didn't want to run.
Shit, they're on to me. This might be my last episode of Standing O
Yeah,
for a while.
I think we might have to do some sort
we
of
might have to part ways here.
work evaluation or something, because I'm like, that's a lot of. Steve's always had these crazy weekends that he can't, and really you're just over here fucking getting hammered.
Yeah, that's not the case. I do squeeze in getting hammered within the shenanigans, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of shenanigans going on.
Yeah, that's true. You got a weird schedule.
Hell yeah, I do. Going to New York on Friday.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Gonna
York,
make,
New York?
Yeah.
Nice.
gonna
Staying
make
in
a
Brooklyn.
chunk of cash. That's cool.
Yeah. Shooting men's
There's
fashion.
there's a lawyer
made it.
there.
Shooting a men's fashion commercial.
That's really, really funny.
They're flying 3 models in. Before I knew this was a male model.
You were excited, yeah.
Men's clothing.
Uh-huh.
They asked me and this guy who I'm working with to come out and do this fashion show commercial.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, we got 3 models coming in from California. And I looked at him and I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Exciting.
And they're like, yeah, it's a men's fashion line. I was like, oh, not as exciting. But my
Still
dad,
excited. I'm sure they're cool guys.
my dad will not stop making fun of me for
Oh
it.
yeah, I can imagine.
You got to tap into your inner Zoolander. You know, like Patton Oswalt.
Is that
You're a monkey, Derek.
That's funny.
uh,
Wait, Patton Oswalt's in there?
Yeah, he's the photographer. Really small role. Just like
Interesting. That's
at
funny.
the beginning.
so Total Wine. Let's get into it. I'm ready.
For starters, it was just a great trip. We were a little upset we couldn't find the Topo Chico hard seltzers. Otherwise, we would have been breaking them down.
Are they like for sale yet?
They
Yes, they are.
Okay.
I've
He's seen them in
Chicago.
Illinois, and I saw him in Phoenix last weekend.
Did you
And-
see like a sale tag for it? Like were they out of them or?
No, we think they're just. And they even had a water section with all of the sparkling waters, and he got so excited he thought he was like, Adam, and I come over
This
and
is like a half hour into the trip.
and then we
Giving up.
realized, yeah, we had given up. We were ready to leave, but we were still like aimlessly, like hoping against hope that we would somehow find these. We had looked at all the seltzers. We're like, maybe they're in a weird spot. And then we find all the waters and the Topo Chicos, and we think they're there, and we're like, wait, none of these have alcohol in them. We're like, he's like, is there even a market for this?
I should have asked you guys.
There was a guy close to us who was probably just like, these guys are fucking idiots.
I meant to ask you guys. I didn't realize you guys were going yesterday
Mm-hmm.
to look for the Steinberg red wine.
I thought about it, but we had.
It
I mean,
is
after
hard to
if we would have
find.
found the Topo Chicos, then it's like, okay, now let's do the next thing. But we didn't even find that one. We were in line, and there was just one bottle of wine completely by itself, like in a little like display area. And I went and looked at it, and it wasn't Steinberg Red. I got excited. I was like, is this because it's like a weird wine where it's a red that you refrigerate, and like, I'm sure it's got other different shit about
Do you
it.
not
but
refrigerate wine most of the time, huh?
not reds.
Not
about
reds.
that? Whites
Not
you
reds.
do?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Rosés?
I don't know. I don't drink rosé.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Do you drink rosé?
I mean,
Like, it's okay.
when it's available.
It's fine if you
Yeah.
do. You can tell us.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't drink rosé. Okay?
Is that what's in that coffee
No,
cup?
it's just coffee.
Just coffee and rosé.
But how was the Total Wine experience for you, Kelly? Because you've been to Binny's.
I was gonna say I'm the only one who's been to Binny's and Total Wine.
Yeah. And the
And-
history of the world.
Yeah, this is revolutionary.
I would say that Binny's is much more like department store. It feels like you're at a Walmart. The lights are very bright, industrial. Total Wine, like everything was wood, the lights were dimmer, it was a nice atmosphere.
You enjoyed your time. Was there any samples going on?
No.
Ooh.
I was blown away because we got there probably like 8-ish. And I was like, I bet you they just, like, there was one of the stations that looked like they had just closed it down.
Mark your calendars. Next December, we're going every Saturday.
Yeah, that would
We're
be-
making a trip out of it.
Did
that
they
would-
do
yeah.
samples?
Yeah,
Oh.
him and his dad made
Countless.
a weekend out of it, apparently.
It
Wow.
But I've been rushed to the hospital probably 30 times for different things.
Yeah.
I
Concussions.
only had to go to the emergency
Stitches.
room one time, and it's because I had poison ivy on my dick and balls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right
a
when you said
rough
poison ivy,
one.
I'm like, fun. I was like, because I know where the story goes,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this is gonna be good for the pod.
So, explain this story,
Yeah,
please.
well, we were in high school, and there was this little wooded area where me and some other delinquents would like to go ingest marijuana. And
As one does.
I went to the bathroom, and I must have touched a leaf or something, and then it started spreading. And it is, I don't know if you guys ever had poison ivy, but
Yeah,
it's itchy,
it can be
and
easy.
the more you
Yeah.
itch it, the more it spreads. So
Yeah.
it was like all the way up my belly, and like I went to the emergency room, and they said I had a yeast infection. And I was like,
Probably because you lived upstream of that old
old bread
factory.
and I was like, isn't that like what girls get? He's like, yeah, sometimes guys get them. I was like,
You're
okay.
like, jeez.
This is embarrassing.
Sometimes.
But then we got a second opinion, and they were saying that it was poison ivy.
Yeah.
That's much better. I can live with
Yeah,
that.
I can live with that. That makes sense because
So I
I've got
got-
it everywhere else.
A week off of school, and I was just hopped up on Benadryl the entire time, and it's one of those where like if you don't fall asleep, you kind of get like high or whatever.
Get a little. It's street Quaaludes. It's over the counter Quaaludes.
So I
is
was
what
in
it
bed
is.
rubbing lotion in my dangus, watching,
And sometimes you just keep rubbing, you know.
and I was watching Breaking Bad. I binged the whole series.
Wait, while you had
Poison ivy. Yeah.
poison ivy?
I didn't have to go to
Honest
school.
dangus.
How did
Yeah.
that feel?
Not fun because actually it swells up too. So at one point,
Dude, your dick probably looked huge.
it was like a bowling pin.
Was it shaped like
Are there
what?
pictures?
No, I don't
We'll
have
put
any
them on the pod.
pictures.
We'll put them on the Instagram. We'll put
Who
that
was
on
your
the Patreon.
Who's your doctor?
My primary, Dr. Barry Altschuler. He's a good guy. Well, I don't have him anymore. He's a pediatrician doc, but
Oh,
which
that's,
is kind of bullshit. You know, this guy, we have an
You
18-year
develop
rapport.
you
Yeah.
develop
And now I
a
can't go to him
relationship.
anymore.
I know.
My-
What does your body just change all of a sudden? They're like, oh no,
Yeah.
I can't touch you anymore. That's
and
it.
you'd think.
Well,
like,
I guess your body does change.
it significantly.
Like right around that time.
Not mine. I was born this way, baby.
My doctor, he was like my doctor when I was in like young, but he's still my doctor now because I think I just haven't.
How old is he?
I don't know.
Sorry, just keep going.
55.
Just
I
keep
didn't
going.
say he's old. Dude.
I was just
I'm
wondering.
supposed to say he's old, and you go, "How old is he?" My doctor's so old. That's
How old
great-
is he?
Great setup for a joke. I don't know. He's like 55, but he was the inspiration for Dr. Drinker, the video, because the same day I saw him and I lied about how much I drink in a week, so he didn't tell me to cut back on my drinking.
Yeah.
But then I saw him at Total Wine. I saw him that day, and I was like, if I would have told him the truth, if I would have been like probably 20 drinks a week, then he would have been like, you're gonna want to cut back. And then if I would have seen him at Total Wine that day, I would have just been like, well. I never branch out clothing wise, but there was one time I was at Kohl's and came across a V-neck I like, and even that was a leap for me. And I still bought it, and I still wore it, and I wore it like to drink with all the guys, like to hang out, and I'm like really putting myself out there the whole time. I'm like, wish I wasn't wearing this fucking shirt. You know, the whole time I'm nervous about it. And at one point, like I said something like shit talking during a game. I'm like, you piece of shit, drink 7, and Jack's like, oh, is that what you think with your V-neck? And I was just like my face probably just dropped. I have not worn a V-neck since. That I hung it
As you
back up.
shouldn't.
It went into the closet like fucking Milan's dad putting away the armor. Just like maybe one day I'll be strong enough,
I'll wear some V-necks.
That is exactly like when Sam said
Nice
yogurt.
Yeah, and you're
I
like,
was eating a yogurt on like a Friday night, which I guess was a crime, and Sam was like, nice yogurt. I felt so small.
God. That was really, really funny because it was just like the mood of like we're all drinking beers. It's a Friday night, and you and go get a little
I might have
yogurt
been
snack.
drinking as well.
Yeah, I know. But just he says nice yogurt. I immediately laugh, and you just like put your head down. And you're like, you're right. It is nice yogurt.
You got me.
That's
do they,
really funny.
Do they still make Go-Gurt?
Yeah.
I think so.
They still make Go-Gurt?
I don't think they still make Danimals.
Oh, I was just about to say I loved Danimals.
Yeah. I was never a Danimals
Never got
guy.
into those, yeah.
I was
But
always
Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt.
I
Too
love
small.
Go-Gurt.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I don't. Was that the expression? Go Gert.
In college, like TV class, I made a commercial for Go-Gurt.
I was just about to say we should make a Go-Gurt commercial
Let's do one.
Yeah.
I would love to.
because it's a really good name. It's yogurt on the go.
Yeah.
Yogurt.
They nailed it.
I mean, it's great.
And everyone knows what it is. It's a perfect name. It's like Tupperware is like the name for all Tupperware containers, regardless of if they're Tupperware brand.
Yeah.
It's like that's same with like Kleenex.
Kleenex,
You know,
yeah.
is the same thing.
How
And,
do you
like,
how does that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know, but like no one else even
The brand is strong.
Yeah, no one else even tried to step in the way of Go-Gurt.
For a long
No
time.
one ever even tried to make another Go-Gurt because they're like, we're never going to compete. They're just going to
they
call us
Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt,
They
you know?
have figured it out.
Yeah.
Civilization peaked when they invented Go-Gurt.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was a really knockout of the park, marketing-wise. And your neighbor got to see me climb out of the car window, and she was laughing. She really enjoyed it.
Well, it was funny. The week before, she's actually about to move like halfway across country next week.
Oh, that's too bad.
But she was telling me like the week before when I told her what I do, and I was like telling her about the podcast and everything. She was like, "I've always wanted to see like behind the scenes from like somebody who does stuff like that." She loves it. So that day that she saw Adam, she came over and talked to me about it like the next week, and she was like, "I was dying. I got a bunch of pictures of you guys." Well, because I've got like the boom mic.
Yeah,
I've got like tucked in my shoulder while I'm holding a camera.
Groupus is like also recording and having to like set up my wire constantly because it's like falling out, and I'm taped up. I can't do anything. He's feeding me coffee because I can't drink or anything. It's cold. It was really cold that day.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that was a great day.
We put so much work in.
We put in the hours on that one.
Oh, hell yeah, we did.
And
but we really learned
we
the
learned
message we wanted to convey.
Yeah, the world at one point, because he filmed it on this crazy camera. He's like trying to get it to load. He's like, I don't know if it can handle this much powerful video. And I'm like, what, like the laptop or like society? They're not ready for what Stan and O's about to release.
When you go up to a stop sign, like there's a couple of them that are very populated in this area, 4-way stops. And like when you get up there and like you can't tell who's up, like what's like the way that you go about that? Like, do you really pay attention to like with all 3 cars there, which one is first? Or like,
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I pay
because I'm to a
attention to
point
that.
where I just start waving on until I'm sure it's my turn.
Oh, okay. That's
That's where I'm
that's
at right
not
now.
a bad one. When you're just not in a hurry and like you're like, fuck, I didn't pay that much attention on who got here 1st. You're like, just everyone but me. You know, it's like, just let them all go.
Like, and if there's 2 cars, like, and we're close, even if I'm there first, like, it always takes me like maybe a little bit longer to come to like a 100% complete stop. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be very slightly rolling, and I'm always just like, just go.
Yeah.
But I hate so much if I wave someone on and then they wave me off.
Oh.
You just get out of your car. You gotta fight.
Like, there's been times where like I was like, I don't know, putting something into like my GPS or something. So I will say like I'll just wave them on because I'm like looking at something, and then they'll wave me on, and I'm like, go, please go, and I'm waving them on a bunch. It sucks.
Have you ever been in a situation where you wave them on and they wave you on, but then no one goes? So then you're like, okay, fine, I'll go. So you creep forward a little bit, and then they creep forward at the same time.
That's what I want to avoid at all costs. I hate that. That's
like
why
being in a hallway
That's why I
and
just
me and
wave
you-
people on aggressively immediately, because it's like just go. I'm not like a
Aggressive.
road rager driver.
But that's what gets you.
I go to so many stop signs, and I'm driving around this town all the time, and it's just like just go,
Just go.
just go,
Just go.
just pass.
My dad used to, when we would be like about to turn left or right onto a street, he would just let off the gas or the brake enough to like inch forward and just to like make the person kind of panic.
Oh, yeah.
He would do it like not all the time, but like every once in a while when I was little, and I'd be like riding in the car and he's like, watch this. And the person's like, and he'd just start laughing. I'm like, why are you teaching me this? I'm like 7 and like, dude, you shouldn't be teaching me this.
Could have had a typo.
Don't you have a
too.
Jeep Cherokee?
I have a Compass, which is like a little bit smaller than a Cherokee.
I like the Compass.
I had a Grand Cherokee, 1997.
Yeah,
it was a mess.
There
It
were
was
more
terrible.
box model.
Oh, hell yeah.
So cool.
They had 3 blown speakers, but that one still sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
And every once in a while,
Is that
the back,
the green SUV
yeah,
thing?
every once in a while, the back right one would like turn on for a little bit. And it's like,
That was a treat.
That's refreshing. But then for about 6 months, it had this computer issue where I had to drive with 2 feet to keep the RPMs going. So, like, if I was stopped or slowing down, I had to be pushing on the gas just a tiny bit while pushing on the brake even harder. I got really good at doing this.
Wow.
But if I didn't do it right, the car would die and the power steering would lock up. So there was one time I was
Yeah.
turning left onto Lindbergh, and the car died, and I was going, and the power brakes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
like-
the problem is the power brakes.
So
don't
I was
work.
I was rolling right into like one of the
Curb.
no the light the
Oh, man.
the
Street
traffic light.
Traffic light.
but
Stoplight.
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 Yeah, Jesus, effing Christ, is our savior.
We'll edit out that 30 seconds that Steve couldn't think of a stoplight.
Sorry.
I was right there with you.
Yeah.
It's like street
But
light.
if you push absolutely hard enough, like you could stop
Yeah,
the
you
car.
you can get it, but
I got it by like this much.
That's
and
fun.
then it was like 5:00 at night, rush hour traffic, and it sometimes takes a little bit to kickstart her again.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm sitting there, and like while you're starting it, you got to be pushing on the brake and like flooring the gas as you're starting it.
wild car.
It was crazy. It was
It's like an old
dangerous.
lawnmower.
It was dangerous. We took it to this body shop.
You're like jimmying your leg the whole time. You're like, come on.
I remember one time somebody asked me to drive it just down the road, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, yeah, sure, but you got to listen to like all of the things about it. Like it's tough, and I was like, it's also pretty dangerous. I was like, so first when you start it, you got to really give it on the gas, but make sure you're pushing the brake as well.
Otherwise, it'll just take off.
Well,
This
it's
is no
park.
neutral or park anymore.
Oh yeah, no, that went away years ago. Only one of the speakers works, but don't put it on 100% volume because we will blow the fourth one.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
So don't ever do that.
Hang out at 98, 99.
Power windows don't work, so you got to like push them down and like physically push them down. Like this does kickstart it. That's like the
Yeah,
only way that like
you gotta
opens
get it
up the
moving.
valve
Yeah.
to whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the word is.
It's a gear.
You pushed it and then you pushed it with
Yeah.
your hand.
No, yeah, I had that red Grand Am that I had. That was my first
great
car.
car.
Every knob in the car came off. It had crank windows, AC, radio. They all came off. So my center console was just a bucket of knobs, pretty much. And I'd like have to take it off, put it on, crank it down, put it back. Oh, you want the radio up? Let me find the radio knob. I'm like
Got it
going
right.
through it like it's like a bowl on your desk or something. I'm like, here's the radio one.
Couldn't
There
you
go.
just use one knob for all of them, or did they all fit?
They're all like
differently?
different sizes and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. But having to like I never got pulled over in that car, but I wish I would have gotten pulled over. And they're like, put your window down, and we're like, hold on, I'm looking for the crank.
Actually, that could have been an issue.
Yeah.
It could have looked like you were doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see your hands. I need to get the crank.
Yippies.
Yeah.
I meant to say yikes, but
Yeah,
yippies
yippies.
came out.
We should bring back Yippee. Like a casual Yippee. It's like,
Yippee!
hey, our table's ready. Yippee.
Yippee!
I kind of like that. Adam knows nothing about Japanese culture. He's saying he's adopting the Japanese culture. More like not knowing about the Japanese culture.
It's not that I'm
Boom.
adopting the Japanese culture. It's
Bingo.
just, it was
Yippee.
by the
Yippee.
Japanese wines. I'm really excited to bring back Yippee.
That's so funny.
What's
I'm
up?
picturing like a fist pump too.
Why the hell are you using Yahoo search? Where's
No, remember it's reset.
What year is this? 2001?
Yeah, no, there was one time.
Oh,
Load
I'm-
up Internet
There's always that
Explorer.
one guy who's like, "Oh, I'm a Yahoo guy."
No, I'm not a Yahoo guy. I'm a Google guy. But there's a problem on my computer where it resets the default search. I've done it twice. I've set it back to Google twice, and like I think it's when I shut down, it resets it back to Yahoo. But there was one time in college, for the longest time, I'm not a computer guy at all, and if I don't know how to do something, I just don't on computers. And
Sounds
so
like
I
me in
didn't
real
know
life.
how to reset the default search thing. And so I just never did. And at one point, like, you or Sam or Groupus, like, I walked away from my computer, and they were like, I'm going to look up, gay butts. And they started typing, and it comes up with the Ask Jeeves search. And they laughed for, like, 45 minutes, making fun of me. They're like, you use Ask Jeeves? And I'm like, I don't know how to reset it. Shut up. So then, like, that day, I found out. I'm like, it's not a big deal. Brought my laptop home and immediately I had to ask Jeeves, how do I change the search? The default browser.
Man.
I think this brings up a pretty good time to give my Steve 2 cents for the day. So I was reading an article the other day, that gnomes are actually, there's like a shortage of gnomes in the world. So I don't know.
So at first when you said that, I thought I was like, is like porcelain getting like more expensive because are they trying to make them out of plastic and it's just not quite translating?
I just like, do you know a gnome, like a company that makes gnomes? Do you know one?
Well, I think to
And-
make
Like, there's
it,
probably not many
you have
of
to
them.
catch them first, and then you turn them into ceramic.
Yeah.
Oh.
You might be running out
So-
of gnomes. We caught them all.
Are they endangered?
They're endangered. Yeah, they're
Are they?
Endangered species.
They're 100. They're at the very least protected. Yeah, they might not
It goes
be too
bees,
endangered.
gnomes, bald eagles.
Yep.
It's the top 3.
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So I'm-
yeah,
I'm- so
I would
there
love
was-
to know where anyone that makes a gnome. If you make a gnome, reach
Yeah,
out.
reach out to us. Also, make me another one,
Yeah.
please. But no, this one, or not this one. There was like a store in England that
Mm-hmm.
apparently is known for selling garden gnomes.
They're known for gnomes.
They're known for gnomes, and they said like they're getting really hard to find. Everything's on back order, like in the entire world for gnomes. Like in terms of to like a distributing level.
Yeah.
Like I can buy one online right now, but like I'm talking in the next 5-10 years, this guy's gonna be worth $1 million.
That's plausible.
You've always
Gnomes are the new
you've
Dogecoin.
always meant a lot to me, buddy. But now ever more so.
Is
Yeah.
that the same gnome you use in all the videos? 'Cause
Yeah.
I
Yep.
thought it was a blues, like a St. Louis blues.
No,
gnome.
it's Eastern Illinois, baby.
Yeah.
I bleed blue.
David has a great joke. Anytime people are talking about like the jumbotron stuff going on, he's like, you know at the games when they do like the sound meter and like you're like supposed to like applaud and like get loud. He's like, I was at a game one time, we broke it. And I'm like, David, it breaks every time. Breaks regardless of if the audience gets loud. He's like, no, because like they were telling us to get loud, so we got loud and it turned. No, right? No. And he like acts like he won't believe it.
I gotta go figure this out.
He's like, they wouldn't have lied.
And it was the Sabbath. So
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
it can't work.
you know
Can't roll.
refrigerators now come out with a Sabbath mode. Well, they like
Where they play War Pigs.
it bas-
Anytime you open it.
But it's the whole 9-minute version.
no.
a great
But
song.
like if you're if like you don't believe in electricity on the Sabbath, like it goes into like this low power mode where like the doors lock and everything.
Oh, to like keep it like as insulated as possible.
And it's my sister got a
don't
new
care for that.
refrigerator, and she was just
Yeah,
like,
I
just
don't-
in case we decide to start really going all into the Sabbath.
That
And
would
she
be
sent
great.
it to us, and I was like,
That's fun.
wow, refrigerators do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Soon they're going to be driving cars and
You
getting
can
jobs.
on there's Samsung fridges now that you can play games on, and there's like pictures on the internet of stuff of people like using the screen to like hook up like Call of Duty to.
Yeah.
They're playing like Warzone on their fridge.
I've seen-
It's completely
Wait,
inconvenient and
like,
more as
what
a
are
joke.
the games that are on like the fridge? Like,
I think it's
ooh,
like
see how
fucking
fast you can get the
Bejeweled
mustard
and
out.
shit.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's like
See how fast you can get the mustard
Oh,
out.
you thought
if you
it's
don't
like
have it, go
interactive
get some,
type
you
games.
asshole. Yeah.
And it's just sponsored by French's.
All right,
to sell
load,
mustard.
load me with turkey, 35 bush lights. Not
the fridge
30.
is more demanding.
I want 35 beers. I want 35 in there.
35.
No more, no less.
And you're like, fuck, now I gotta buy a ring 6er and a 30 or something, or do I
drink
do a
one?
12?
and I
and
got to drink one on the way home.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds okay.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, but you might hit a bump and spill the beer.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Anytime they make technology smarter like that, it freaks me out. My aunt
Yeah.
has one of those new Alexas with the screen on it,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll ask it a question, and it'll just like get up and like move towards you and like face you. The screen
What?
will. It's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know.
And is it just like a girl, like a robot named Alexa? And it's
She's like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. It's a little like projection.
we're there. I think we're at
Yeah.
hologram time.
No,
great.
the fact that
iPhones are gonna start doing
the fact that the
holograms
fridge
soon, I
can
heard.
lock itself.
It's like the new
I don't like
FaceTime.
that. That's
Yeah,
smart
I think
house.
I made that up.
Well,
But if you're listening,
I don't think that they're not that. I mean, they do like hologram concerts and
yeah,
shit,
like
you know.
Tupac and Adam Levine.
And like
Maybe that was just a movie when he was. Yeah, it was.
I think that was a dream of yours.
Tupac played with a hologram of Adam Levine.
No, there was a hologram of Tupac at Coachella.
Yeah, last week.
And
It's a
then,
hologram of Adam
Yeah,
Levine.
Adam
and
Levine.
Tupac was there.
He was worried about COVID and his flight got delayed, so they had
Fucking COVID ruins everything. Tupac comes back from the dead, and
Adam Levine can't even show up.
perform with him.
man, I can't.
I'd pay good
Can you
money to
imagine
see
if that's who he immediately was like, I need to get Adam Levine
Yeah.
for my redemption or not redemption.
Yeah,
I'm
was
back
like,
for 3 days. That's it.
revival.
I'm back for 3 days. I want Adam Levine's hologram.
He's
That's all I
Saturday
want.
night. We're gonna get Gwen Stefani Friday night.
You know the band Cake?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the War Pigs version of Cake?
I have not. Have you ever brought it up to Sam?
The cake version of War Pigs. Oh, I
Wait,
know Sam's take on
Does
cake.
Sam, he saw them live, right? And
Yeah.
He had the most interesting
that's
experience.
where no, because we quote it all the time because they wouldn't play their best song, right, which is Going the Distance.
Oh yeah,
or-
they don't do that anymore.
They wouldn't
And then they
play like any of their hits
during
or something.
half, like in the middle of the show, he just kept going, "You are all corporate
Corporate
drones."
Yeah. They this guy sitting right next to Sam at that concert apparently said something like, "Oh yeah, I've seen them 9 times. They're always horrible." And Sam was like, "Why do you keep going?" He's like, "Why do you?"
No,
keep
but that is such a good cake thing. Like,
That's a cake thing. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's cake. you know?
it's
Like,
cake.
you
We're
see
gonna go
cake.
see them.
Like you see
They
cake.
suck.
That's what you do. They're horrible. I love it. It's my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year.
That's really, really
That's
funny.
like-
That's the only reason I wanted to go to Lou Fest that year was
Is
because cake was
cake.
coming, and
Yeah.
Sam went, and I was out of town or something, and
'Cause
Sam
he
was like,
also
"You didn't
missed-
miss anything," and I was like, "Well,
he
shit."
picked cake over like someone more interesting, or who like probably would have been more. And so that was also the reason.
Looking
he was
back
so
on it,
pissed
they were
off.
definitely more
Yeah,
interesting.
because he was like, I fucking could have been seeing like whoever it was. Do you remember?
Have you seen those Hawaiian shirts that have the same pair of matching shorts and it's like all one style?
That sounds phenomenal.
that
that
sounds like
sounds
right up your alley.
Hook me up for
Yeah.
like probably 2 costume changes a day. I'm thinking.
I love that.
I'm thinking that should be pretty good.
Well, what about? Are you gonna wear any jerseys? Because we were just talking about how we're at.
You
the
got
age-
my jersey dirty. Name the movie.
I no idea.
Sounds like Austin Powers.
Are you guys kidding me? Angels
Yeah.
in the End Zone. There's the guy who's obsessed with his jersey being
Have
clean.
I ever heard of that movie?
No, I'm
You
like,
know Angels in
you
the
thought
Outfield?
yeah.
This is the second one.
I didn't know that existed. And
Air
also,
Bud 4.
and also
It's
for
not
you to
Air Bud
like,
4.
you can't believe we both didn't know. I'm
I
like,
grew up watching
should
it.
we
I
have
grew up
known?
loving it.
Oh my god!
Angels
It's
in
Angels
the
in the
End
End
Zone.
Zone. How do you guys not know the sequel to Angels in the Outfield?
Just like what was the
The
movie?
famous-
What was the
Joseph
movie
Angels
when-
in the outfield.
Angels
was-
in the Outfield is pretty good.
What was
Okay.
the movie when
Don't you fucking
that I put in my top list?
smart
Monster House.
Monster House.
By the way, I got several phone calls. Okay, 2. I got 2 phone
That's
calls,
several.
and one of them was incoming. One of them was outgoing.
So you called someone about it.
Not about it, but it got brought up.
Okay.
One of them was
You got one. You said I got several phone calls.
I called-
I got 2. I called someone about it.
I called someone and it got brought up.
Yeah, yeah.
It was Colin Green, who's also been to Total Wine and Binny's. And the other one was my friend Pfeiffer, and he calls me and he was just like, "Dude, Monster House is an unbelievable animated movie. How did they not even? Have they not even seen
Yeah,
it?"
I've never heard of it. man.
So, I really encourage you to watch it one
That
time.
was-
It's
you never seen that
hilarious.
movie?
no, I've never.
That
seen
movie's
it.
phenomenal.
I've seen it. That was
Yeah.
the movie that was in my aunt's DVD player in her car. So anytime we were driving anywhere, if
Did
it
you
was,
like it?
Monster
If
House?
if it was a minute, we'd start it from.
Did you like it?
I mean, from what I remember, yeah, it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Like they're a little. Skinny,
That doesn't help my case much.
Yeah.
Skinny kind of Weasley guy. He's like the hero.
Yeah,
And then the house was like transforming. And
I was really hoping you were gonna be like,
it's been
So-
a while.
yeah.
No, I am pro Monster House. I
Okay.
just don't remember a lot of.
So when we did
details from it.
when we did the animated movies poll, like me versus you and you versus Groupus and shit like that, you beat Groupus. I don't think you beat me.
I think I ended up beating you. I thought I did at the very end.
You might have, but regardless, it's slander or hearsay. I'm gonna have it thrown out. You know, it's not gonna hold up.
I went out.
Stop
and
the
bought-
count. We're stopping.
I
the
went out
count.
and bought 18 track films and started different Instagram accounts. And
So
I just,
if
myself,
I can see who
myself.
votes what, and every one of your family and friends all voted you in each of them, and so like me and Grippus were saying, we're like, it's not that Steve's movies are better. He just has more supportive friends.
Then
So
get
don't
more
feel bad.
get more supportive friends,
More
you
friends,
assholes.
idiot.
Yeah, no, I'm like Steve just has more supportive
Well,
family and friends.
and you know me, like if I like a movie, the people who are around me,
Yeah, you can-
like
you
I'm
tell
like,
people.
oh,
Yeah.
you gotta watch it. This is the
And-
best movie ever.
Joe thought you had the best animated movies because of Fantastic Mr. Fox, which does not put you in good company.
That's a phenomenal movie.
I
You
kind of
think Joe's
agree
got
with that.
bad taste in movies.
Well, it's a like hipster pick for like animated movies, and so that the two people were the
Hipster
highest
pick,
on.
it's
Great, but it's not.
It's
I
Wes
mean,
Anderson.
Shrek went in the second round. That is absurd.
Fantastic Mr. Fox. If you watch it, if you're a film lover,
Is not better than
it's
Shrek.
if you're a film lover,
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
which puts it in the hipster category.
No, it puts it in a good film category.
Look it up. Look up.
How do you look that up?
Is Fantastic Mr. Fox a hipster movie? I bet you something will show up.
I think maybe Wes Anderson himself you might think is hipster, but Wes Anderson's phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's not good.
No, I
We
think
watched
I
the
heard
movie
Adam
several
say
times.
if he could kill one person, it'd be Wes Anderson. That's what I
If he
heard.
was in a room with Hitler,
and Toby and Wes Anderson.
And 2 bullets.
take on a classic children's book?
What is the classic children's book?
It has Mr. Fox.
That was.
So it's not just a clever name.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Does this guy know how to party or what?
That's.
I was doing the Wayne's World hair behind the ears thing because I know you can't see me, and I know you wish you could.
A lot of moving parts.
Well, this has been a pretty good podcast.
This has been a good one.
Yeah.
You guys got anything you want to add?
No.
All right. Thank you for listening. That was episode
We appreciate it.
8 of
Adam
the
does
Stand and
too.
No podcast.
Yep.
Take it easy, nerds.
I'm gonna get the last word.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. That was a bad pod.
Okay. Yeah, that was.